Gooseworx just revealed some game-changing information about episodes 5 and 6 that could completely shift everything we suspected about the upcoming episodes. Gooseworx had a Q&A on her Tumblr where she shared some really interesting answers about previous episodes, characters, and also what comes next in the show. So in this video, I'm going to go over every new piece of information she shared, and let's start with the most important one, which is that Gooseworx said that Ragata and Jax are going to share episodes 5 and 6 equally. And this immediately makes me think of this scene.
I, hate you, but I don't want you to hate me. Is that weird?
And so I think what Ragata said here is gonna be important in terms of how Jax and Ragata's dynamic is gonna be in the next episodes. And Gooseworx has already hinted that these two are gonna cause some headaches for the bunny doll shippers, but she again answered some questions regarding this, like here, where someone asked, are the bunny doll shippers going to be disappointed by the next two episodes? And she said, maybe, but they didn't mind when Jax threw Ragata in the deep fryer, so I don't really know how they think. And a similar one where the question was, how depressed do you think Jax and Ragata fans will be after episode 6? And Gooseworx gave her signature answer to this one, which is you'll have to wait and see. But what's also interesting, and I think it could relate to Jax and Ragata, is this one. What's the most dangerous duo in the amazing digital circus? And here again, Gooseworx said, we'll have to wait and see. But I have a feeling that she means Ragata and Jax again, because honestly, I can see why they would be dangerous, and especially towards each other. These two characters are complete opposites, and we've already seen how they treat one another. It doesn't seem like the healthiest relationship in the circus. But Gooseworx also shared some more information about episode 5, and it's also really crucial. Somebody asked, which out of the next 5 episodes is the lightest in terms of mood? And Gooseworx answered, 5 is probably the lightest of all the episodes. One could say that it's the silly before the storm. And I'm not gonna lie, when I read her answer, I got the chills. Like, a part of me was happy that it seems like the next episode is not going to be as heartbreaking as the previous two. But then I read another one of her answers where somebody asked, will Ragata be okay after episode 5? And Gooseworx only said, so what does that mean? It seems like neither we nor the characters can really catch a break, so I don't really know how to feel about the next episode. But one thing's for sure, Jax and Ragata's relationship will definitely influence these two characters, and not necessarily in a good way. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't think that it's gonna be as bad as Jax abstracting Ragata on purpose, because Gooseworx also had a question. Is there anything awful that Jax wouldn't do? And Gooseworx said, yeah, there are a few lines he won't cross. So based on this, I don't think Jax would go as far as to abstract someone on purpose, but I do think that he may go too far accidentally, and that could result in something really bad, like someone abstracting. And obviously, Ragata is the strongest candidate right now. But moving on, Gooseworx also shared some interesting things about Jax, which are also gonna be important in future episodes, especially now that episode 4 kinda revealed a new side of him. So the whole fandom is interested in how he'll change or what will happen to him. But based on Gooseworx's answer here, it seems like Jax will continue to struggle with his vulnerability, which we've already seen in episode 4. And it's starting to become more and more clear that he's not an actual monster, but he has some serious issues. Or as Gooseworx said, Jax is a big cocktail of internal issues. And what's most possible is that feelings scared Jax, and that's why he acts mean towards everyone, so that he can keep his distance, and this way he doesn't have to face his emotions. And Gooseworx's other answer also supports this argument, because someone asked, what does Jax like that no one knows about? And she replied, he won't let me tell you. And even though Jax wants to keep his walls up and act like a tough guy, maybe it's possible that he will fail to keep them up, and that would lead to even stronger frustrations. However, Gooseworx said that we're going to see Jax's room eventually, which I hope is also going to reveal some things about him. But going back to episode 5, Gooseworx also shared a few out-of-context lines from the episode, one of which is, was that a reference to something? Then a line from Pomy where she'll say, I am just being here, which honestly sounds like a typical Pomy line, and it seems like she's gonna go back to having another existential crisis. So maybe Jax and Ragata's duo will also affect the other circus members. characters. And the most important line Gooseworx shared from episode 5 is actually from Ragata, who'll say, "Not anymore." And this sounds like an important line, which could help Ragata's character development, because she could finally set some boundaries. As we know Ragata, she has trouble expressing her real emotions and would much rather repress them than have a confrontation about it, so this sounds like a positive thing. And hopefully Ragata will be able to say how she really feels in the next episodes. But Gooseworx also had a question where someone asked, "What does Pomy think of Jax?" To which she replied, "You'll have to wait and see." And I wanted to mention this question because Gooseworx has already said that Pomy and Jax will have a messy relationship, and we could even see it in episode 4.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
It looked like Jax wanted to talk to Pomy, but Pomy doesn't trust Jax. And to be honest, I completely understand why she didn't talk to him more honestly. But it seems like their relationship will also have significance in the upcoming episodes, and maybe the same goes for Gangal and Zubo. Because when someone asked, "How do you feel about Zubo and Gangl being a ship?" Gooseworx said, "You guys can ship whatever you want. I personally think they'd be good for each other, but you didn't hear that from me." And even though there won't be any romantic relationships in the show, this still makes me really happy, because it could mean that Gangal and Zubo will continue to be there for each other, and maybe we'll see more of their relationship in future episodes. And I also wanted to include some questions related to the previous episodes, such as this one. Did Kane give Kinger his own solo adventure during episode 4, and will we ever see that? And Gooseworx said, "I think the joke works better if we don't ever see it." And it makes sense, however, it would have been fun to see at least a short video about Kinger's solo adventure. But speaking of Kinger, there was also a question about his fort, where someone asked whether his fort is bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. And Gooseworx said that it was only bigger in the past because it needed space for 2 people, meaning that Kinger and Queenie had this special place in the circus where the 2 of them could be together. And I wish we could see a flashback of this in the next episodes. But Gooseworx also had a question about Gangl, because the end of her shift in episode 4 could leave some people with questions, like this one. Did Gangl actually try the comet, or was it just a genuine accident where she tripped off the curb and into the truck and got run over? And according to Gooseworx, it's up to her interpretation, which is honestly a great approach, because this allows everyone to have their own truths, making the episode feel even more personal and open to individual perspectives. And since episode 4 had lots of Easter eggs, there were some questions about those as well, like what does the number 57 mean? To which Gooseworx replied, "It's an inside joke, and you will never know what it means." Then about the Dobby dog, which was on the menu in Spudsies, someone asked if it was the same character that we saw crossed out on the door in the pilot. And Gooseworx revealed that it's just something the 3D team did during the set dressing, so this also doesn't have any deeper meaning behind it. And the same goes for the MatPat book, which was in Kane's office. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is a question that is really interesting. If Kane can't control minds, why does stupid sauce change Ragata's behavior? And Gooseworx sort of dodged the answer here, and maybe because this is an important detail in the plot which will be further explored in the next episodes. What I'm thinking is possible is that Kane can directly control the circus members' minds. However, he can still create things that can change their minds, just like the stupid sauce, which was essentially a mind-altering substance, and that was created by Kane. But as for why, I'm not entirely sure, and I think this will be important in the next episodes, because if you think back to episode 4, it seemed like Ragata brought some sauce back with her to the circus, so maybe she already got addicted to it, just like how the mannequin NPC said that he was addicted. So I'm really excited to see where this thing goes. Or another possibility is that Gooseworx's answer is actually a nervous laughter, because she forgot about how Kane said that he can't control their minds, and now it seems like he can, so it's just a plot hole. But these were all the relevant questions and answers from Gooseworx's Tumblr, and it's nice that she shared so much about the upcoming episodes, because this way we'll have an idea of where the story will go and what we can expect from the characters. But let me know what you think about these answers down in the comments. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.